Hello everybody, hi. Welcome to today's stream. Let me see, is everything prepared? Yes. Am I live? Please let me know in the chat if I am live and if you can hear me. That would be really nice. I'm also going to check myself here on LinkedIn. But again, I can't see it here. It's very strange. Oh, okay. All right, LinkedIn user. So it seems like I'm live on LinkedIn. All right. It's very strange that I don't see it myself. I can only see it when people are here. I don't know what's going on there. So, yeah, let's just wait for a few seconds until people are coming in. We are live. We just jumped on. Today I want to talk a bit about RAG and about GenAI because I looked at something and this I couldn't. Oh, this thing screeches here. I couldn't get it out of my head, and I just want to show you. And I think I was thinking about making this a course or something. And so, yeah. Okay, nice. So I am live on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Nice. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Great that you're here, by the way. I see a few people here. So the idea is, or why am I bringing this up, right? What's the idea behind this? I'm bringing this up because I was looking, and I can show this to you here, because I was looking at this video a few weeks ago. I did a video on a React video on the innovative, like a solution redefining GenAI with AWS, SAM, and Bedrock, and like where they did this whole RAG thing, Retrieval Augmented Generation. And so I thought, let's look into this. I couldn't get this out of my head, and I want to share this with you, what I was thinking, and talk about this. Min, hi, welcome. So I made so let me quickly show you the process, right? So I couldn't get this out of my head after the event or after the video. So I was thinking, and I was looking into this, and my process usually works is I write stuff down. Right? I'm thinking about this and I'm sketching stuff. So I made a sketch, and this sketch I made a bit better. It's still on my LinkedIn available. I have a better version here for you that I'm going to show in a second. And how I basically got into this, I was looking at it. Okay, what are the individual steps that this processing has to take, and where are potential problems, or where are the difficult things? And from there, I was looking at this, right? So that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from this video where they basically made the same thing that I had just on AWS. Because I was thinking, could I do this without AWS? Could I do this, on a local machine, for instance, for my students on their laptop? How could I do this? And basically, here's a cleaned up version of what I've just shown you. Right, and let's quickly talk about this. By the way, is everybody feeling all right? Everybody here? If you have any questions about this or any comments, put them in the chat. Would be good if you let me know what you're thinking about. If I'm talking stupid stuff and this is let me know. Oh, by the way, before we get into this, there's still one for my coaching that starts on Friday. There's still one seat available so go to learndataengineering.com and then click on coaching. And for 6 months of coaching, check this out. It's a good opportunity to join. There's one seat left. Okay, so let's talk about this here. The idea with this is, and I was thinking about this, like you could, let's say we have a UI here on the bottom left, right? We have a UI, and this UI, this is an app where we want to ask questions to the platform, and then we get results, right? And not just like ChatGPT, where the results are in the internet. We want to have this on our own. I don't know why I have to yawn. Sorry. This is where we want to get information based on our own data. And our own data means we have something like Elasticsearch, and I choose Elasticsearch here as a vector database or index platform because I already have courses around this in my academy. So I was thinking already about courses. So the idea is you have some kind of file storage. That file storage that file is taken with the Python script and then indexed. Right? It's indexing the context of that file and writing this into Elasticsearch. Right? So that when you come here on your UI, you ask a question. That question you ask a question in the UI calls an API, and the processing of that API then gets the context out of Elasticsearch and then sends that content and the question to the GenAI algorithm that then basically cleans up the result and creates you a nice result that you can send back to the UI. That's the main functionality here, right? Now, what I identified here as being a problem, let's see, can I make this or can I bring this in? I think the difficult parts here, the difficult part is this here, getting the context and indexing the data. I think these are the difficult parts here, because the rest of it seems pretty obvious, pretty simple, to be honest. Like building a UI, not easy. Building an API, easy. Like calling an algorithm, that should also be quite simple. Would Elasticsearch be a better vector database than, say, Pinecone or VV8 or even Amazon OpenSearch? I think Amazon, so where I was coming from was here from this. They had OpenSearch, and OpenSearch is basically in the background Elasticsearch. So that's why I put in Elasticsearch, and because I have an Elasticsearch course already. I don't know the other one, Pinecone and VV8. I haven't tried these out yet. I don't know how they act. I don't know how they scale. Elasticsearch was my first thought. There are other specialized databases. I think StoneBranch, for instance, they also have a good database. But I don't know yet any, is this one better or is this one better? This is just, I'm also getting into this. There was someone, when I announced the coaching last week, where I was talking about the coaching on the live stream. After the live stream, somebody messaged me and said, Andreas, can you build me this? Can I buy a few coaching seats and you help me build this and design this for me? And I said, the problem is I'm not competent enough to do this. I'm only getting into this whole topic of GenAI, and especially Retrieval Augmented Generation. And so that's why I'm also starting up with this. Right? So yeah, these questions I can't unfortunately answer yet. Yeah, so that's the idea. And this is also something that I had to understand, that this part here, let's make these let's make these green here. These green arrows, that these actually, how this works, right? I was always under the impression that the algorithm here actually somehow, and I mean, this is I don't know the right word. Like, I was always under the impression that this actually queries the data from Elasticsearch and then analyze it. But that's absolutely not how this happens, right? For me, the interesting part was seeing that actually the processing is what manages this all. The processing here, this is what gets the right information from Elasticsearch, sends it over with the question to the actual GenAI algorithm, and that then builds the result that you then send back over the API to the UI. Right? So that is something I found very, very interesting, because I never really thought about it this way. I was always under the impression that this works better or works different. But I think this way it's quite obvious, right? And this is why people use, for instance, a serverless function here. In this example here, they used Lambda for the processing of indexing the data, putting data into the knowledge base, and querying the data, because this needs to run very fast, very often, and serverless is quite nice for this. Any questions around this already? Like, guys, let me know. What do you think? Is this? I totally forgot. And also Postgres and Cassandra here, because you need to somehow store the chat history, right? When you open up the UI, you want to get the chat history. Like, let's put another one in here. Get chat history. Right, that's something you want to store and get chat history. That is something you want to do here in this phase. Let's do it like this, right? And for that, I think either Postgres, like a document store, or a wide column store is really nice for this, because you very easily can then store data for the user. And I think so for deploying this very simply or with not a lot of resources, Postgres should be better, or is better. But not for a production use case, I think. So again, this case here, these 3 steps here, let's make these red. I think these red steps here, this is very important to understand here, how this works. Because it's not like the algorithm is querying data from Elasticsearch. You have some kind of, so this needs ML, right? This needs some kind of machine learning. So like k-nearest neighbor or something. We get to this in a sec. I have 2 resources where we can look at this as well. Yeah, but I think this is something how this works. Now I was thinking, okay, how can I deploy this? We could deploy this, and let's put this like this. I was thinking, okay, we have a Dockerized environment, right? We want to do this Dockerized. How can we do this? And so I split this into interfaces on the left here: storage, processing, and visualization, right? And you see here, I put fast API, for instance, here into interfaces and processing, because like the interface is the actual API that gets called, but the back-end processing of fast API is here. So this would be one container, right? So we would have one for fast API, we would have a container for the Postgres database, a container for Elasticsearch. So 1, 2, 3. The processing that stores the data into, or that indexes the data in Elasticsearch, that I would run as Docker container. So that's 4. Streamlit UI, this would be 5. Right? So this would be 5 containers. It's not super difficult to run. let's say the processing for the GenAI part, we use OpenAI through a token, would work, right? So that's why I grayed this out. This is basically not a container for us. If we want to have this locally, we would download a Llama version, Llama 3.1. Like they have the different models, and come on. And I think one of the models that we could use here is the 8B model, because that is not big, and they don't show this on this page here. But like they have different qualities of models, and I think the 8B model is something like 3 gigabytes or something. So it's not super big, right? So I was thinking, okay, we could deploy this here as another container. So we would have 6 here. All right. And yeah. So this is how I imagine this to set this up. I find this very interesting. I also saw today, let me see if I can bring this up, another post, because people are already doing this. Alexei from LLM Zoom Camp did this on local machine. Let me see if I can find this. For me it's always difficult. Well, how can I get how can I see on LinkedIn my reactions what I liked here? I think no. I don't know. Well, where is it? Does somebody know where can I find on LinkedIn my saved content or saved items? No, it's not saved items. How I hate the LinkedIn interface sometimes. Wasn't this here? No, it was not. I can't find it. That's a good question. I'm not very conversant with AWS or DevOps. Would it mean that 6 Docker containers would be running on an EC2? No. You would not run this on an EC2. You would run this on something like Fargate on AWS. Because Fargate, that's the software as a service for, let's say, Kubernetes. And you would then run this on Fargate. I actually did this in my academy in the AWS. Here in this, can I show this somehow? Yeah, here. Like you would, if let's say you want to run a user interface on this, and this was for the old one. This was for the tweets where we actually changed this in the meantime. But yeah, when you run an interface like this, you can create this on your PC, then create a Docker container, put the Docker container into Amazon Container Registry, ECR, and then this will be started as a container on Fargate and then run on Fargate. So this is how this works now. Yeah. Oh man, I wanted to show you this post, but do I have this somewhere here? Why is this so difficult? Why can't I see this on posts and activities? There's something is wrong there. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. Like I was trying to here. I was trying to, like, it should be here, posts and activity, and then if I liked something, it should be here, shouldn't it? Why is this 2 weeks old? Or this old stuff? Or where are the saved things? Where are my saved documents? Like, saved items. I think that's not it. Jobs. No, that's dumb. Ah, here. Yeah, here it is. Here. This is what they built. It's like, I find this interesting. It's not, like, this visualization isn't really a perfect visualization, because one problem I see with this, let me show you. So the thing is, they built Streamlit here, and Streamlit is the manager of everything. So you have an app that manages everything, which is, I think, how I said, an API in between. This is more production ready, right? If you build it like this, that you have an API. That you have an API here, and that API actually manages the processing from the UI, not the thing runs on Streamlit. And also, what is a bit misleading here is that Streamlit, let's say here, takes data or pushes data to Elasticsearch, and then this goes into Ollama. This also doesn't really make sense, because it's, as I've shown you here, it should be, Streamlit is getting data here from Elasticsearch and then pushing the data here, that will then the results get returned here, right? So this visualization, although it looks nice with the moving parts here, it's not like exactly the thing. And so also there is there's no indexing done here, or you can see one here. So, but people are doing this, and they're using Grafana here and Postgres for chat history and monitoring dashboard. I'm guessing also for statistics. But yeah, so they're doing this. I was thinking about this here and setting this up as containers. Now, of course, would you need to do this immediately? Or would this be cool to do this like they did in here on AWS, and then, for instance, create a template, like a Terraform template or something, where you can run this or set this up as infrastructure as code? I think this would be cool, and this would be very helpful for students. Yeah. By the way, this basically means that the Streamlit UI always goes through the interface, always goes through the API, right? And we could do this without a local container, and we could do this with a local container. But again, the big problems I see right now are these here: getting good, writing the right stuff, or writing the content of this into Elasticsearch right, so that questions are able to retrieve the right content, and retrieving the right content for the question. That, I think these are the most important things in this. Now, they actually put this, there's a cookbook from OpenAI, there's also this here that is actually from Elastic Labs. This is an introduction how this works. And I can let me post this in the chat here. I think, unfortunately, you only get this on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you will get this on LinkedIn. I can't post from this tool here on LinkedIn. But yeah, so this one, and they were saying here with the application, this is how this is going to look, and this is how this works, right? You have a proprietary documents here. They go with the pipeline into Elasticsearch. Then then you ask a question in the UI here, UX, ask a question, retrieve the documents. Number 2, return relevant documents, build LLM context, and then ask the question to LLM with the context, right? And then human-like accurate answer comes back, and 7, the answer gets to, or display the answer to the user, right? So I think this shows it very nicely, and they show here how to do this. They also have code here. I find this very interesting. They have Python code, examples, and what do I want to show here? Declare function the query elastic using semantic search, right? I think this is important to get the data out. And front end simple chat interface, getting the answer back to the client. So the code should not be super big here, right? Do they have a part here? Test the application. Conclusion. Do they have actually how to index the stuff? Analyze client connection. Generate vector embeddings for each document at ingest time. So maybe it's not that difficult at all. I don't know. Like, yeah, but so there are resources where they help you actually set this up, actually build this. Yeah, super cool. The other resource that I was looking at was this one here with OpenAI, and this is basically the same one where they have specific OpenAI packages, and here the OpenAI package, and with that package you can then like download datasets. No, you can read CSV, find the pandas dataset, create index with mappings, index data into Elasticsearch. You see, it's the same thing. Batch size, and they also have examples here. Question, encode a question with OpenAI embedding model, right? So around semantic search queries. Like this is something that you need to understand. Like, okay, if you run your query, then you will get out this amount of data. Like you will get out a lot of data, and this data you then send with your question to the GenAI model, and then it generates you the answer, right? So I'm also going to put this in the chat so you know, so you can look this up yourself as well. Yeah. I hope this was a bit helpful. I hope this showed a bit how this actually works in the background. What they were not showing here, they were actually not leaving out a lot here. How to set this up. I think this is something we should do in the future, in a future course. As I build this up locally, then do the same thing on AWS for you, and then add some with a CloudFormation or Terraform or whatever template, so you can actually run this as a code, or have the infrastructure set up as a code. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, guys, that was so much for me. 30 minutes. Not a lot of comments here, I see. Most likely everybody was just listening. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to stay here for a few minutes and see if somebody posts something in the chat about this. Yeah. Don't forget, at learndataengineering.com. Where can I bring this up? Like here. Check if you want to learn data engineering, go to learndataengineering.com. I have 2 things here for you. The academy itself, where you can have over 30 courses here, over 500 video lessons, like a lot of stuff from like the basics with computer science fundamentals, Python, Docker fundamentals, up to platform pipeline design and large example projects that you can go through and then modify yourself. So this is one thing that you can get. I teach over 2,000 students in this. Also Friday starts the data engineer coaching, where we give you 6 months of coaching with sessions with me, also with Arokia and Santiago. They are helping me with the coaching and taking weekly sessions. And we create a learning plan for you. We support you on your journey. You will get unlimited access to the academy on top. We help you with CV reviews. We have a Discord where you can chat with us. Yeah, the next session starts, or the first cohort now, since a long time, starts this Friday with a new group, and then afterwards we start. I don't know, end of September, beginning of October. Let's see. So processing per good session. Yeah, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take screenshots from this, and how should I share this? I'm going to share this on. I'm going to look if I share this on LinkedIn. Good rack depends a lot on data ingestion and indexing. For that, Llama Index with Llama Parse is really good. I believe you can directly push stuff from Llama Index to S3. Any idea on that? I don't know. Like I heard about Llama Index. I don't know if it's the right thing with Elasticsearch. I don't know. But usually what you can do is, like, if you have a setup like this where you store the files in S3 and then have a Lambda here, you can make it that once you push a file into S3, it automatically triggers the Lambda function and starts indexing the content. That's you can do. That is very easy. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. 30 minutes. I don't want to hold you for too long. I think this was, for me, this was an interesting topic. I just want to share this with you. I hope you learned something. If you want to learn in data engineering, check out learndataengineering.com. If you like this, hit the like button, send this to a friend of yours who might need it. And also check out the YouTube channel. We post a lot of stuff on the YouTube channel. Yeah. And then see you next time. Bye. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Tiarash.